welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to solve LeetCode problem number 2257, which is count unguarded cells in the grid, which is a medium level question. So let's first understand the question. We are given a grid of the size m and n where some cells are contain guards and some contains wall. Each guard can see in the four direction, which is right, left, up and down, but their vision is blocked. If there's either another guard, if there is another guard or a wall in that direction, a cell is considered guarded if at least one guard can see it. Our task is to count how many cells remain basically in the um, unguarded and unoccupied, meaning they are not wall, not guard, and not visible to the guard. Now let us go to the code step by step. Before that, first I'll complete the code approachment, because once you will see in this example as well. So what you can see is there are like walls made. Like if we have to understand it going through the example, if you can see here, input is taken as 4m, n equals to 6, and guard is 0 0 1 1 2 3, walls is 0 1 2 2 1 4. So output will be 7. How? See, the guard and unguarded cells are shown in the red sector and green represent in the above direction. There are total of 7 unguarded cells, so we return 7. So similarly in the second question, m is given as 3 and n is given as 3, where guard are 1 1 and walls are 0 1 1 0 2 1 1 2. So the output is 4. How? So explanation is given here that the unguarded cells are always shown in green in the above direction. So unguarded cells are always shown in the green. We have to find unguarded cell, which is 4. So now let us get into the approachment of the code. Today we will be writing this code in Java so that we can also practice Java step by step here. So uh, this is already given. Let's go ahead and write a code. First I will make sure that I complete the code and then make you guys explain. So int double square bracket, let me just give it a space, guard equals to new int m n semicolon, for this is a loop, int guard guards curly braces grid guard 0, again another 1, which is equals to walls. Just make sure you are understanding the code, at least what I'm writing, what I'm doing. I will make sure I explain you the code as well. Before that, first I have to write the code so that it becomes easy for me as well to make you guys understand. So till here we have written. Now again int Basically, this is a loop, for loop we are writing. In that, you guys can also write this code with me so that you guys understand what you have written when I explain. So here we go with the code. Just give me another second to write. The code is today's code is little bigger than usual, so it is definitely going to take some time. I hope the code will be much more understandable when I explain it. So let me write it. Today's code is definitely bigger than usual. Even when I was trying, I found it too difficult to crack it. I won't say it was difficult to crack, but it took a lot of time, and I was trying to have an approach where I might solve this question in a much easier manner. But honestly, I didn't found much easier approachment for this than this one I'm currently writing. So I hope you guys will eventually write up the code this way, or if you have any easier way or shorter way to write the code, so you guys can definitely comment down in the comments and let me know. So yeah, till here I am done. So now here we are writing the greed. So here I guess I have written almost the major things. Now we will just do the driver code. So the driver code basically is the one that we are going to run out. So here we have almost wrote our code. So just we have to written, so sorry. Just we have to written the values. So one, two, and here we'll just written. So here we have completed finally the code. Let's run it and then I'll explain you if all the three cases run or if there is any error as expected. There is an error at the line 33. Here we have not given a semicolon. So yep, I thought only in this big code I might have made some mistakes. Again, there is a error at the line 20th. So let's, okay, there should be some space. See, everything matters, to be very honest. Everything matters here. Uh, I guess something I have written wrong on line 20th. So let me see. So it's row call. Yeah, I should give a little space, I guess. Okay, current spelling is wrong. There should be double R. Okay. There are two silly mistakes, I know, but I am also a learner. So yeah. So yeah, we are going to submit the code. This is the problem of the day code. Okay. So yep, we have submitted. So I'll just make you guys understand the logic behind the code. See, what we have did is we started with a public int, and after that we count unguarded int m, int n, and every like the guard and walls. So here mn represents the number of rows and columns in the grid, while the guard walls and guard array contains the position of all the basically I'm talking about here till here. So it basically is like containing the guard and wall array contains the position of all the guards and wall. Next we have created a 2D basically 2D kind of array called grid with dimension mnn. So here it is grid mnn, and next we created, as I've said, 2D array called grid with dimension mn, and this grid will help us mark the state of each cell. We will use numbers to represent basically the state of each cell. We will use numbers to represent three different states. Zero is going to be representing the cell is guarded. One is going to represent it is sorry, zero is going to represent that it's unguarded, cell is unguarded. One is going to represent that it's guarded, and two means it contain either guard or a wall. Okay, so for then we wrote a for loop through the guard array. For every guard position we set grid guard 0 guard 1 equals to 2, marking those cells as occupied by guard. Similarly, we loop through the wall array and mark off all the position with a 2. So 2 के साथ हमने उसको mark कराया. Now next we are like we define an array, like we have defined the array called directions, which is -1 0 1 0 -1. This is a next sorry neat trick to represent the four direction: up down, up right down and left, using coordinate change. For example, going up means now decreases by 1, column stays the same, going right means column increases by 1, and so on. So now comes the main logic. We literally uh, came to the main logic. So we iterate over, here we are doing the iteration part. So we iterate over each guard again, and for every guard here in this code, what I can say is we explore all the four directions. Inside the loop we store the guard's current row, like it's his rows you can say. Then calculate the direction deltas, row deltas, call deltas, and based on the direction array. So now using a loop, what we have did is, here we have used a loop. We extended guards vision step by step in the chosen direction until we hit the grid's boundary. So after hitting the grid's boundary, another guard or a wall, the condition grid current row plus row so current row plus row delta is 0, and current column plus column delta so is greater than 2. Here this condition ensures that we stop if we encounter a guard or a wall, since those are marked as 2. Inside the loop we move on steps in that direction. Basically after that we are moving on to the steps in that directions, and mark each visible cell as 1. Mark each visible cell as 1, meaning it is now guarded. Once we process all the guards in the direction, the grid will have 2s for guards and walls. Then it will have 1s for guarded cells, and zeros for unguarded. Finally, we count the unguarded cell we used as a, here we are doing, finally we are counting the unguarded cells. We use a nested for each loop to go through each row and each cell. If a cell's value is 0, that means it unguarded, so we increment our counter unguarded count. Okay, so we have incremented the unguarded count. After counting all such cells, we simply return unguarded count as our final answer. So we have written the unguarded count here. So overall the solution efficiently stimulates or simulates the guard's line of sights in 4 direction and keeps the track of which cells remain unguarded. The time complexity is O of m into n in the worst case, but since we stop vision early when heating walls or guard, it performs quite well in practice. So that's how we solve the LeetCode problem number 2257, which is the count unguarded cell in the grid. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coding walkthroughs.